Hey guys, Depanda here. So today we're going to be talking about Onward, Contractors, and Pavlov. I decided to do a collaboration with another channel, specifically Fluffy Says. You may notice he's a bear as well, so we get along fantastic. I don't know if that'd be true in real life, because bears might not get along with each other, but anyways, without further ado, I'm going to hand off the mic to Fluffy.
Hey guys, it's Fluffy Says. Welcome to today's video. Today guys, we're going to be discussing what is the best multiplayer shooter between Pavlov, Onward, and Contractors. This is actually the second part of a two-part series. If you haven't yet, make sure to go watch the first part on my channel linked down below. In this video, we will talk about the arsenals, player mechanics, gameplay, gun stocks, and maps for all three of the games. With that being said, let's just jump straight into the video. Starting off our comparisons, we will be talking about the maps. This is a bit of a gray area, especially across these three games, because every one of them is moddable, meaning you can play basically any map you want. Because of this, it is a bit difficult to rank the games via maps since they haven't in player games. Now that we know the maps, we can talk about some of the game mechanics. Firstly, we're going to talk about player movement. In all three of these games, you have free locomotion. Free locomotion means you can move around with the joystick. As well as free locomotion, you also have the ability to sprint, either by putting the gun in a hoister or lowering it below your waist. In both Pavlov and Onward, because you can't jump or climb in these games, the result is a lot of stairs. However, on certain maps in Pavlov, you are able to find ladders, which work as kind of super steep stairs, allowing you to climb up by holding forward. Contractors gets a point here because it does have the ability to jump, which allows for a lot of extra mobility, allowing you to dodge and easily maneuver around the buildings. I will also applaud Contractors for not making the jumping mechanic mandatory. All maps have the ability to maneuver and get to high ground via stairs without needing to jump. That way the easily motion sick can play competitively without getting sick. All three allow for crouching via real life ducking. Contractors, however, adds the ability to slide by first sprinting and then crouching in quick succession. This mechanic can be used to quickly slide behind cover in intense firefights. Unlike the movement, the controls vary drastically when it comes to reloading and using gadgets. Pavlov's controls are my favorite with their simplicity. When holding a gun, Pavlov will automatically choose the correct mag to fill the gun you are holding. When holding a gun, Pavlov automatically chooses the correct mag to fill the gun you are holding when you reach for a new magazine. This keeps reloading easy and quick. In Contractors, you always have all of the mags on your player. Pistol is on your left waist, main rifle around your belly, and your second firearm is on your chest. Being frank, this is a pain in the butt. When playing, I find myself constantly grabbing the wrong mag, consistently causing me to lose firefights. The problem is they just try and shove way too much on your chest between the two separate sets of magazines, your grenades, as well as your main weapon. With that being said, it might just take some getting used to. Then lastly, we have Onward. In order to get a fair assessment of which game is the most intuitive, I chose not to run through the full tutorials until I have played a couple rounds in multiplayer. Both Pavlov's and Contractors was absolutely fine, but Onward, not even exaggerating, took me 2 games to figure out how to reload. I was finally able to figure it out once a really nice teammate stayed behind with me to teach me how to pull out the mag. This reloading learning curve can be seen across all three games as every gun has its own reloading system. Bolts have one-shot reloads where you put the bullet right into the chamber. Revolvers have you put in each bullet and spin it yourself. No matter which game you pick up, you will have to take the time to learn how to reload guns. However, that does not excuse Onward for having some confusing controls in order to reload your gun. As far as your ammo supply goes, most Pavlov game modes have infinite ammo for you to use as long as you're holding a gun. Contractor starts you off with a limited set ammo amount that you have anytime you respawn. You can replenish your mags via reload stations scattered around the map. Onward, just like Contractors, gives you a set amount of ammo whenever you respawn, but unlike Contractors, Onward does not have an ammo replenishing station. If you need more ammo, the only way to get it is off of dead bodies. Now that we know the mechanics, how does that affect the pace and gameplay? Onward is a slower, more methodical paced game with lots of one and done objectives. This requires a strong knowledge of the maps and good positioning over good aim. The emphasis in Onward is strategy. Pavlov is much faster paced with easy reloading, lots of respawning, and small maps. This leads to more fast-paced fights and lots of deathmatch lobbies. It is much more a run and gun style game, especially compared to Onward. Right in the middle we have Contractors. Contractors is a bit weird as it has the same play as Pavlov, but it has the same time to kill as Onward. In Contractors, any headshot is a one hit, which makes for quick firefights, especially up close. However, most of the popular game modes in Contractors are deathmatch and control points, both of which have lots of respawning. Before moving on to arsenals, if you are enjoying today's video, make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe to become a part of the Panda Party. And if you like my commentating, you'll find my channel down in the description. With that being said, let's hop back into the video. This segment was really hard to script since it's just a lot of numbers and letters and stuff. So to make my life easier, I'll just put everything on screen. No, I'm just kidding. I have a script. Not a very good one, but I do have one. So let's get started. For starters, Pavlov has 27 guns, Onward has 33 guns, and Contractors has 35 guns. This was my estimate. It's about this. So if I missed one or added one, I am sorry. All three have rifles, DMRs, SMGs, pistols, shotties, snipers, and LMGs. Some special mentions: Pavlov has tanks, Onward has riot shields, and Contractors has claymores that not only attach to the floor and walls, but also to players. Just saying. Now that you all know what's in these arsenals, it's time to talk about loadouts. Starting off with Pavlov, we have a before round shop similar to CSGO. At the beginning of a round, the player can click down on the right joystick in order to pull up a shop menu where you have access to all the guns and grenades for varying prices. Just like in CS, Pavlov does have an economic system, which makes it more a game about personal finance than pew-pewing your enemies. Moving on, both Onward and Contractors have set layouts depending on your class and team. These loadouts are balanced with a point system. Every gun is assigned a numerical value based on its stats. Each gadget and add-on is also assigned points that add up to your total. Once your total is reached, you can't add anything else to your arsenal, and that is your loadout for the round. Now that we've established the main concepts for each game and assigned points to the game, on that front, it's time for the lightning points. For graphics, Pavlov gets points for gore, and Contractors gets points for pulling off a simplistic look. Pavlov, especially on the PC end, has an incredible amount of gore. A single bullet in Pavlov will squirt blood everywhere. Taking an LMG or shotgun up close leads to bodily devastation as skin gets ripped off and bones are exposed. Don't worry though, if you don't like gore, you are able to turn it off in settings. A lot of people are upset with Onward because ever since the Quest version came out, they had to lower the quality of the graphics. Not just for the Quest version, but also for the PC version. This is because to get the game running on both platforms crossplay, they needed to completely remake the game for both platforms from the ground up. This has resulted in a lot of backlash, but the developers are improving the game and it honestly looks really good. So if you're worried about Onward's graphics, I wouldn't be too worried as it looks just fine. For gunstocks, Contractors get some points here for having a really in-depth gunstock calibration. Onward and Pavlov both have very simple gunstock settings, which means that unless you adjust the shape of your gunstock, it might not work with every gun. Contractors, on the other hand, has a very customizable gunstock calibration, which you can do with every single gun. This can be time consuming, but once it is set up for every gun, or at least the guns you use the most, you never have to change the shape of your gunstock. That is going to end off my part of today's video. If you keep listening, you'll hear Panda's part where he talks about what his favorite VR shooter is. And if you want to hear my final thoughts and regards, you can watch the end of the video Panda made over on my channel.
So in conclusion, guys, I just want to say I do disagree with Fluffy a little bit. I know he prefers Pavlov, but I think I like Onward the most out of all of these. And the reason for that is because Onward is a really awesome military simulator that requires a lot of strategy, a lot of planning, and a lot of teamwork. It creates a really awesome community feel, especially when you're playing with your friends, when you have to really work together to achieve objectives. It's not as simple as just shooting down the enemy. You have to really plan things out, move slowly, and I really like that aspect of the game. I was never a big Call of Duty player. I never really played that many first-person shooters, so maybe that's why I like Onward more. And also, it's just because I like VR for the immersion, and I feel like Onward as a military simulator gives me the most immersion out of all of the other games. That being said, I have been enjoying Contractors. They have a ton of fun game modes that just don't exist in any of the other games. And then Pavlov has just a bigger community and tons of fun moddable maps. I don't love Pavlov as much as the other two, but with the moddable maps and moddable game modes, it really is something that if you have the extra money, you might as well get as well. So honestly, the best answer, get all three if you can. They all have their strengths and weaknesses, but if you just want to get one, figure out what your playing style is and figure out which one matches that. And I think you'll be perfectly happy with any of the three. Anyways, that's it for this video. If you guys aren't subscribed already, definitely go subscribe. And if you want to see my video, just remember to go check out Fluffy's channel. It's down in the description. But that's it. I'm out.